Hey,
Are we
everyone.
ready? Are we both at the same time? Sorry about that. Welcome to 239 Live, Tuesday morning, the day of the President Trump's State of the Union address,
That's
and
tonight. Yeah.
tonight, when which our hockey guys will be there, which we are very excited about, and we have a great show today. Hello, Miss Kristen. How are you?
I'm good, Miss Lois. How are you?
I'm great.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. What did I do?
I,
We went to the Collier Veterans. We went to the Veterans Expo, and
I saw that on Facebook. You posted it. Yeah.
yeah, it's a really wonderful thing. You know, over 50 vendors are there that you get to see what is offered to the veterans and to their spouses. You know, if they need assistance or how to find out about your veterans benefits, and a lot of veterans when they come out, they don't really get signed up, so this helps them to do that
Oh,
as
that's
well as
good.
learn about other things and.
Very informative for them because you're right. When they do get out, it's kind of, what do I do next?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I was sitting here messing with because I was so happy. I got off of Facebook prison yesterday and I just posted my first thing this morning to tune in to 239 Live, and it said, "Oh, you can't post till March the 3rd." Okay, I'm going to figure this thing out. And by Friday, I'm going to figure out what's going
Well,
on.
I posted. I tagged you in it, though,
You
too.
tagged me, and that's great, but I can't post anything
Oh,
and I can't comment. And I don't think I've said anything bad because I just got off.
not, not good. Not good. But
Not
I'm
good.
going to knock on wood that
Knock on
it's
wood.
March 3rd and I stay out of Facebook
You
jail.
yeah, get your name out of this. But first things first, I do have to bring up the Olympics.
Oh,
I don't know how many people watched it, the closing ceremony, and
I'm addicted.
yeah,
You can take 2 weeks out of my calendar.
yeah, it was. We always had it on in every calendar, and let's see what we got up here. Um, I love this particular of by Justin Trudeau. You can't take our country and you can't take our game. Oh, but we did.
Oh, yeah.
Both the women and the men. Congratulations. It was a well fought match on both sides. And of our men's league, they both play. Some play for Canada, some play for America in the regular season, but
Seasons,
they
yeah.
chose their countries to go to.
Yeah,
And
there's some they're teammates on other teams
oh
throughout
yeah,
the year normally, but
totally.
then they go to the respective countries. Did you see the finals
Oh yeah,
of the men's?
oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see the finals of the women. I caught the first part.
yeah. Got
That,
that.
it was amazing.
And seven, if I'm correct, somebody's got to correct me. Ryan Jones, correct me if I'm wrong. Seven of the players on the American team, no, no, seven players played for
Canada?
for Canada
Our
and the
Canadian
U.S.,
team.
but there were seven from Florida Everblades.
Oh, really?
Yeah, local yokels. Not local. So
Oh,
now I'm
that
sorry, I'm going to have to start buying tickets and go to these matches because it was pretty special. And who doesn't love Jack Hughes there in the middle with
and that
his
stick he took to the face. Oh,
took to the face and came back, and God bless. What else do we have up there? I just like chatting about them. And our totals
we did good.
did well
I heard them say that this was it was the highest that we had ever done
in
in
Winter
winters.
Olympics. Yeah. I think that's the final score. I think that
Yeah,
was the
that's the
last. Is
final.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Norway got 18, of course. And I tell you what, that cross country skiing,
Incredible.
I don't even know how they do it. I tried it once and I'm like, this is not even remotely
The
fun.
men took first, second, and third from Norway
In the
in one of the cross countries.
oh, nice. They have different heats and so forth.
Right.
So America has 12 golds, 12 silver. Is that right?
12
And
silver.
9 bronze. So we have a total of 33.
33. Yeah.
And they had 41. Or is that 47?
That's 41.
All right, not too bad. 12.
18, 12, and 11.
Yeah, and you're going
Across the
down the
board.
line.
Yeah.
And I think Canada was 13th or 15th in the running of all that.
Yeah, they didn't make that page. Sorry, Canada.
So
Not
what else do we have up there? I just put a bunch of pictures of this.
What is that? Whatever happened with that? There was a video. It showed him touching
Canada won. They let it go, and Canada won the curling.
I mean, he literally
Everybody
went,
saw it.
and
Everybody saw it, and yet, well, whatever. But I think that what was that Daniel? Not Daniel Lewis, but Daniel Craig from
Yeah.
007. The magic touch. That still is incredible that it could be that blatant And then they just, so
Yeah.
Canada got the gold for that. They should have been disqualified.
What I find just as incredible is that every 4 years, people are just enamored with curling. It takes up a whole station
I know. I
all
know.
day, every day, and all 2 weeks of the Olympics. It's curling on one station, and people are glued to it. All of a sudden, everybody wants to become an Olympic curler.
Well, I can tell you, I don't.
Not me. Not me.
I watched it for like 5 minutes. Like I said, okay, I'm trying. I get it's like bocce ball on ice, right?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
can knock somebody out or who can do whatever.
That's a good analogy of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like, well, okay, fine. I can only watch a bocce ball tournament.
I think the memes that people were doing and the
Fabulous.
skits on social media were just as thrilling as the curling, or even better. They were just hysterical.
More thrilling than the curling for
More
sure.
thrilling than the curling.
Okay.
They were hysterical.
Well, I used to feel that way about hockey, so who knows? Maybe one day I'll change that about
Curling.
curling. So, do I have any other ones up there? Oh no, that was okay. That was all
Your
my
Olympic.
hockey things, and I thought Ryan Jones was going to give me a call because I wanted to harass him um, about the Olympics because he was dying to find a place at 8 o'clock in the morning, a sports bar they could go to.
Oh, we were at Legends.
You were at
We
Legends,
were at Legends. They opened at 7:30,
and you were there.
and we were there. And Blake Becker was there. Madison Cawthorn was there. They had
Oh yeah.
their
I did.
whole
I
group
saw
was
that. Yeah,
there.
and Michelle was there. Yep,
Yep.
yep,
And
yep.
then there was
Hey Ryan,
there
what'd you
was
think about the Olympics, the hockey?
there was a group of people that there were some Canadians, and you could tell when they got that first goal because all of a sudden the tables erupted and everybody's like, okay, who are they?
Yeah,
The Canadians are in the room.
the Canadians were in the house.
They were in the house. They were out in full force that morning for sure. But they did a good job for last minute. I mean, it's not something you can plan for.
They won't even let me get to my page.
Yeah, it says account restricted on her
Yeah.
phone.
They just mean to me. I was just going to be so proud and say I'm back, and now I can't even post that.
Oh.
Such it is, and whatever it is, whatever it is. Okay, well, Ryan, I don't know if you were going to call me in, but if not, we're going to go to our
National
Yeah.
Laugh Friendly Month.
Well, okay, we could do National Laugh Friendly Month. We didn't have a speaker for that, but I think this is February is Laugh Friendly Month.
I
So,
think we should laugh and we should be friendly.
well,
Being kind is free.
being kind is free, and it's a
free.
good. That really is good. Kindness is free.
Yes.
Even though you want to yell at somebody, it really is. It is a challenge to one's consciousness and how that stimulus response, how you actually respond to all of those.
I think it comes with an emotional intelligence or maturity too. They do call it emotional intelligence, I guess, in the psychology world, but it's the ability to control yourself when things get crazy
Yeah.
or chaotic. I think is also a talent for some because it gets stressful out there in the real world.
Yeah. What was that? Rudyard Kipling's poem, if you can keep your head about you while all others are losing theirs,
Oh yeah.
then you could be a man or a woman, my son. Let's go to Tortilla Chip Day. I'm going to go ahead and give her a call 5 minutes early.
Oh, well, who doesn't like a good nacho too?
I was going to bring some in, and I
Lois, you're a food person.
I'm the food and flower person. I love to bring in flowers, and I love.
It was cake last week, and
Well, I have an excuse. I was at the county commissioners meeting every second Tuesday of the month. Twice a month, I bring in veterans to lead the pledge. So I was there and going to stop by, and I didn't. So hang on here. Let me
I don't
get
know where
this.
you get nachos so early in the morning.
Well, I was just going to get the chips. Just getting your voicemail, Lois. Okay, all right, honey. We'll chat with. Hey, Miss Elizabeth. Hello, I am fine. We are. If you could flop up the National Tortilla Chip Day.
We are there.
There we go. And we have someone who knows a lot about tortilla chips around the county of Collier and a lot of other good
Where to
food
get good
tips.
ones?
Huh?
Where to get good ones?
Where to get good ones, where to get good anything. And we have with us Miss Elizabeth Liz Valdez of Paradise Food Tours. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fine, and I want to thank you for doing this. I know you have a little bit of a cold, and so I appreciate you not coming in and giving us your cooties, but I also appreciate you coming in because today was a perfect day to have you on to talk about your business, your tours, and what you do, and mainly how did you get into this?
Well, thank you very much for asking that question. It's the founder story is always near and dear to every business owner's heart, right?
Yeah.
Uh, my husband and I have owned a transportation company doing black car service for 15 years in Southwest Florida. And over the years, of course, all our clients want to talk about when they get down here for the beginning of season is the new restaurants and where to find different things that they're interested in eating and giving us their recommendations as well. And so we learned over time that people did not know where to find authentic Mexican here in Southwest Florida, and they would complain about that. And my husband being Hispanic and growing up here in Naples, we knew better. And I saw an opportunity for food tours, having the transportation business, and basically already having the clientele for it. So I decided, why not? Let's just go for it.
And when did you start it?
I started the Authentic Mexican Food Tour in January of 2022.
Yeah, and that was like your first dip into this, right?
Yes, I did not realize the potential that the business had. And so I kind of started it as like a side gig, really, just to have fun and take some people out and show them around in areas that they had never seen before and enjoy some great food. And it has just grown exponentially due to demand and people loving the concept.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fun thing. I think we have another picture of her. If we could flash that up on one of the tours she does. Okay, here's we have the picture up of the group. It's an orange building with about must be a Mexican restaurant drinking
Yes,
Everybody's drinking
margaritas.
margaritas.
I don't know if you can
yes.
watch it online if you're looking at it on Facebook.
Yeah, so everybody loves the authentic Mexican tour. It's called Nacho Average Taco Tour. So that's just so that people understand that I'm not just feeding them tacos. I'm introducing them to dishes that are part of the Mexican cuisine that they may not have known about, but they certainly will fall in love with and want to go back and enjoy.
Nice. Um, you do other tours besides Mexican, right? I mean, you've sort of branched out to do more.
Yes, I have. I had so many people take my Mexican tour, and then they came back to me and said, Liz, we've taken your taco tour 2 or 3 times, and what else can you do? Can you do this kind of tour or that kind of tour? And I thought, well, if they're asking, there's probably 100 more people just like them that aren't asking but would still take it. So I went ahead and I started a pizza tour due to a request, and then I started an authentic Italian tour, and I also now have a walking tour of Fifth Avenue and some tours in Bonita and Fort Myers as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is amazing. I didn't know you'd grown that much. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you very much. A large part of it was due to the corporate event planners that bring big groups into the resorts from JW Marriott and Marco all the way up to Sunseeker in Port Charlotte. And
Wow.
they found me and they started calling me and saying, "Hey, can you do a brewery tour for 50 people? Can you do customize this, that, and the other thing?" And so now I would say probably, I don't know, 60% of my revenue is actually from these corporate event planners and the customization that they ask for.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a tremendous feeder system for a speaker or for a special program person because we do have so many tour directors and event planners and sponsors around.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Is there another picture? You do a trolley tour too, right? Oh, wait a
Well,
minute. Okay, go
this
ahead. Go ahead.
this the trolleys are actually part of the larger group system. When the corporate groups come into town, I don't have the capability to transfer more than 14 at a time on my own. And so the larger groups will typically contract their own transportation. And sometimes they'll say, "Hey, what do you recommend?" And so then I get in touch with Naples Transportation and say, let's do a trolley. Let's do this. It's going to be a great time of year for a trolley, and people love that, of course. So we'll do buses, trolleys, etc., as the need arises.
Well, you've kind of gone big time here because I have a picture up of you with a travel and leisure
Uh-huh.
magazine that you were listed in that.
Yep, I was quoted in Travel and Leisure. Yes, thank you.
Oh, honey, that's big time. For 4 years, I mean, it really is 4 years to be, have someone recognize that and see that. I love your philosophy because what I was getting my PhD, which I remind people that just means piled higher and deeper. Um, that it's a new paradigm methodology, and the process creates the structure. And I tell businesses, if you find out what your customer wants or needs, mostly wants, then you just shape it and give it to them. And then
Yep.
that seems to be what you have done for your business model, which is fabulous.
Yes, I firmly believe in everything that you just said. Having lived it, I learned quickly that people will tell me exactly what it is that they want if I'm just willing to listen. And so over time, when I ask questions, I get more and more insight, and I'm able to refine the tours to make them better and better as we go through the years.
That's terrific. And you're also a veteran.
Yes, I am a Navy veteran, and my husband as well. We met in the United States Navy many years ago, but I call him my Navy party favor.
Oh, how nice, nice. So how long did you serve?
We each served 4 years.
They have a special little logo that you could get that says veteran owned business.
Yes, it's on my list.
It is okay. I just wanted to let you know because I always think that that's a special thing to have because people like supporting veterans, and you're
Yes.
certainly well on your way. So that's just another little perk. You also are getting into the speaking business. I saw. Tell me about
That
that.
happened a bit organically, Lois.
As does
I have
everything in your
always,
life.
yes, everything's organic, right? There's always some kind of growth. At least I hope. I had always wanted to be a public speaker, but I never felt like it had been the right time in my life to pursue that. And I have been supporting an organization called For Kids Southwest Florida
Nice.
because I was a foster kid myself as a teenager. And it really just felt impressed to start giving back to an organization that supported foster kids like I once was. So using some of the, benefits and the blessings that I've been given in my business to help support that organization has been, important to me as I've grown. And so I'm on the champion team for this organization, which is businesses that, pour insight into the nonprofit. And they were putting together their plan for one of their recent fundraisers, and I offered to be the speaker because I thought, hey, I'm local, and I'd be more than happy to, share my
Oh
story. And
yeah.
they took me up on that. So it was a really fantastic opportunity for me to kind of get my feet wet and see what that feels like to be super raw and vulnerable from a stage. Because my personality is not one to be, one to make people cry and be open like that. I tend to be more of the jovial joker type. So,
Well, most people
um,
do that when they hide pain. That's a great way
yes,
how they deal with it.
yes, very true. Yeah.
And how
So I'm
long
an
were you in?
expert at
How
that.
long were you in foster care?
I went into foster care the first time when I was 13 years old, and I was in foster care two other times before I was 16. But I was also in juvenile detention, and I was in a halfway house for homeless youth as well in
God
that time
bless,
frame.
girl. I had no idea your story.
Yeah. I had a lot of trauma in my upbringing in my childhood, but by the grace of God, he's turned my life around for sure.
Did you go into the Navy right after when you turned
I
18?
joined not after high school. I was working, but it was after 9/11. I saw an opportunity. They were really pushing hard for young people to join the military, and I thought, hey, I really want to get out of this town. I was in Lima, Ohio, and I just
Yeah.
didn't see any potential for my future there. And I saw an opportunity to join the Navy and see the world and get some money for college and maybe turn things around for myself. So that's what I chose to do.
And you were in there how long?
And I was in the Navy for 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Okay. Wow. That was, and to meet your husband, what'd you call him?
My Navy party favor.
Your party favorite, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What a sweet name and a sweet husband too. We had the pleasure of meeting him a while back at a veterans event.
Yeah,
Well,
we've been married 22 years in July. So,
Congratulations.
you know, for the ones that
Yeah.
said it wasn't going to work, well, here we are.
Here
So,
you are. And does he work in the business?
he still owns and operates the transportation company that he started 15 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So he works closely with me because I help him in his business, and then if I need some help with the tours, he helps me with mine as well. But I'm growing now to the point that I've got a new tour guide that I just hired and part-time admin support as well. So
Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
What is his business called? Or I'm saying the one that he runs.
My husband's business is called Driven, Southwest Florida.
And he mainly does
Black car airport transportation. He'll go to basically any airport in Florida, and he also does, a lot of private chauffeur service work here in the area in Naples.
Give me that name again.
Driven, Southwest Florida.
Well, between you two, you guys stay mighty busy.
We do. And did I mention we have 2 kids?
No, I did know that. What are their ages?
My son is going to be 13 next month, and my daughter is almost 10.
Wow. We just had Ryan Jones just sent a congratulations. If you go back, he posted incredible thank you for you and your husband for your service. So.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that.
Yeah, he sells F-150 trucks. I believe I'm saying that right, Ryan?
Ford dealer.
Ford dealer, right? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, just always. I love to plug people. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I love that.
You are good at that, though.
Yeah. What are some exciting things you have coming up?
Well, I just had a new relationship start up with the Ritz-Carlton, so I'm doing quite a few large group tours with them now, and I also have another corporate group coming up for Uline, actually, hopefully in April. That's going to be a 30-person Italian dining excursion at dinner time. So usually my corporate tours are lunchtime, but this one's going to be dinner. So I'm excited about putting on a show for them.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's a new segment to your already
Full plate.
large, large repertoire there you have there.
Yeah. Well, when the people ask, you got to give it to them, right?
Well, I'm telling you that for business, that's so smart. If you said the magic word, if you really listen to what they say, then that really helps you cut through a lot of the noise in your own mind of what you should do.
Yeah. Well, I can dream up anything, but if it doesn't sell, well, that tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Exactly right. Okay, Miss Elizabeth, tell us how people could get a hold of you and your Paradise Tours.
Sure. So the website is paradisefoodtours.com, and the information is on there. People are actually able to book single tickets for the tours. You can go online there and check the calendar out. If you have a group of 6 or more, then that usually translates into a private or semi-private tour. And there's a form you can fill out there, and I'll give you a call. Or you can call me anytime on my phone line for the business, which is 866-EAT, Southwest Florida, EAT, SWFL.
Ah, well, that's pretty good. That's when I always call you on. You say, no, call me on my cell. Think I've got that down now.
Well, once you've called me through the phone line, the business phone line, and I know who you are, then you get my cell number, so you can call me directly.
That's nice. Well, Elizabeth, I thank you so much. Number one, because I know you weren't feeling well and you agreed to come on for the show. And congratulations on your magnificent success. I mean, I keep up with you on Facebook, even though I can't post. Sorry. And
You're a little salty.
I was in jail. I got out for a day and I'm back in jail again. So I got to get down to the bottom of this. But we
You're
really
a salty tortilla chip.
a salty tortilla chip. Well, happy tortilla chip to you today, and best of luck to both you and your husband and your children. And we hope you have a
Thank
great
you
day.
so much. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Okay, thanks, darling.
Uh,
Bye-bye. Wow.
I did not realize how many tours she has currently running.
No, well, I kind of saw different things and I knew what it was, but I didn't quite, of course, you never get the gist of it unless you're like right in there looking and seeing what.
Or you go on one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
I want to do all of them.
I know. What's your plan one to do one with the girls?
Oh, that would be great. We could take the crew with us.
Yeah,
We could film it.
239 and film it and get some good scoop. How about we thank our sponsors?
I was just gonna say that.
Great minds think alike.
That's why we're here.
There you go. Take it away, Kristen.
Oh, well, first we have Yacht Masters, Marine Surveyors.
There you go.
Look at that. They're such a great sponsor. We appreciate them.
Mighty Dog Roofing. He usually weighs in and on the show a little bit, but I love them.
And then we have Devoe Cadillac, family that's been here for a long time.
Mr. Supreme Auto Collision.
JR.
JR, we love you.
Marquise Diamond Mobile Detailing. They do great jobs. They do planes, trains, automobiles.
Okay.
And not the trains.
And Three Palm Legals, Wills, Trusts, and Estates. And Torch Hot Yoga.
Hot yoga.
Have you done that yet?
I have not. My daughter loves hot yoga. It's hot enough here in Florida.
Yeah.
I want some AC.
You burn a little bit of extra calories. Okay. Thank you. Amherst Roofing.
Yeah. We had him on
you.
last week.
Oh, that's right. We did have him. And our lovely Miss Christian Weirden sitting over here to
Hello. Yes. Happy to be here. Thank you
my
for
left,
having
to your
us.
right. And does that bring us up to, well, you have a fabulous guest coming up.
I do. So we are welcoming Yvonne Bork. I first met Yvonne back in 2012 when we worked together at Pace Love That Dress, philanthropy. She is very involved in philanthropy. And so we've met throughout the years, but that's where we first met was Pace Love That Dress. We missed the Love That Dress event, but Pace is amazing. They're doing amazing things. And right. Yeah. We missed the dress event. Right. And I have had the pleasure of watching her serve this community in all these endeavors, business and otherwise. She's been a wealth manager for more than 25 years. And her experience began back in Wall Street in the 2000s. She's called Naples home for 25 years. And throughout that time, she has built a reputation of integrity, expertise, and has a big heart. And beyond the financial world, she's a mother, a loyal friend, because we've been friends for a long time, so I could say that, and someone who deeply believes in giving back. Thanks for coming. I'm so glad you could make it with us today.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Kristen, for the invitation, and Lois. So thank you so much for having me, particularly to speak a little bit about women in wealth. And it's certainly a topic that is near and dear to my heart. So thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, I find, go ahead.
I was say how fortuitous because this is self-care day. I don't know if I sent that in. And
oh, that's right. It is. That's why we were asking self-care, financial self.
Yeah. It's not just your physical self. You want to take care of all that, but then the self-care, but then you guys just happen to run into each other.
Yes, and we were in a salon surrounded by women, and with the zip code of 34108, and certainly there were I could see some ears perking up as we were having a little bit of a dialogue, and just having the opportunity to listen to the podcast before I took this seat. I love the whole curling analogy, the things that I'm seeing on Instagram. And I think the reason why it's just been such a trendsetter. You see everyone with the Swiftie. I know women, with those like Swifters out there, you're either a Swifter or a Swiftie, right? And so, you got the fuzzy socks and you've got the Swifter. And I think that's why curling is really gained a lot of interest. And also about kindness. You guys are talking a little bit about kindness, and I was trying to find out if it was a famous quote, but what really resonated with me is, in a world when you can be anything, be kind.
Right.
right? And so I think that that's really compelling, and just keeping that part of the conversation in our core values. So just really love the content thus far. And I'm excited to talk a little bit more about women in wealth.
Well, that's where our conversation was when we ran into each other. And I know our lives don't always intersect because we don't have Love That Dress pace.
I love that.
You know, it was great. I understand it was very labor intensive, so it
Yeah.
was a little hard to run. So we don't intersect as much. But when we started talking, it was how so many, like it's almost like women are a little behind when it comes to how money matters and what to do with money. And then when this came up, I said, well, this would be a great segue for you to share with our listeners how they can, where to start with their financial health and when to start. Some of us don't think about it until we're in our 50s or something. We're like, oh, we might retire.
Right.
And really, we're a little behind the 8 ball. So
That's interesting. It's always a life event that tends to serve as a catalyst for us to say, gosh, okay, how do I plan for the unexpected? And a life event can do that, either premature death or disability. But, to answer your question, it's always about starting young, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted $1 million by the time you were 65 years old, at age 35, you'd have to invest $35,000. If you're 50 years old, you need to invest $235,000 in order to make that $1 million mark. So, the secret sauce is to start young. And I believe in being a smart risk taker. I think oftentimes young women are somewhat adverse to taking on risk. And now risk doesn't mean, hey, go in all on black, right? But
Yeah.
it's about making informed decisions about the risk and not being afraid to take that risk. I think that, the reason why it's important to take on that risk is because you've got time on your side, right? And you've got that time horizon in order to make that type of investment. And I think it's also really important to understand how do we define ourselves as women investors. Many people say, well, my daughter, my friend, my mom, she's a spender. My daughter, my friend, my mom, she's a saver. Well, let's change the narrative. Let's not only be a saver or a spender, but let's be an investor. And what does that really mean, right? So, and the best way to invest is to take on risk. And, you're not going to win them all, right? When you're a risk taker, but with volatility comes growth. And that's not only applicable for wealth management, but it's also applicable in life's journeys, right? I
true.
mean, think about your career, think about your companions. With that volatility came growth. So I think that's something to keep in mind for our youth when they are choosing companions, when they are choosing careers, when they are choosing capital investments. Don't be afraid to take that risk. And oftentimes, your previous speaker, she was amazing, Elizabeth. She had that opportunity to take the stage and talk about her vulnerabilities. And again, thank you for her service, but she felt as if it was never really the right time. And I think that because as women, we always feel somewhat inadequate. And for the message for all of us at this table, as well as for your listeners, is that it is enough. You are enough. And when we begin to have that conversation about investing, you don't think that you ever have enough. Well, guess what? You have enough and you are enough. And I think that that's something that's really important to kind of, again, change the narrative, change your mindset. And once you start beginning with investments, having that core philosophy can be quite compelling.
I think that people think that they don't have enough to even start investing, when really you just have to start somewhere, just like business, just start somewhere.
Right. Absolutely. It's a process, and you have to believe. And believing is not
It's a confidence thing
it's
almost.
it's confidence, and believing is the absence of fear, right? Or the absence of information. Fear is the absence of information. So you once you can remove that fear from the conversation, you start to believe. And I say beliefs drives behaviors, drives results. And once you understand that process and you believe that you are capable and that you have enough and you are enough and you begin to invest, that beliefs will begin driving behaviors, driving results.
What I find too is, like, for myself, growing up I didn't have a lot growing up, but we created stuff. You create money and you create an income and you create all this beautiful life. And then you almost become fearful of losing it because you didn't have it before. So where should someone start if they say, okay, I've amassed this business that I have this little bit that I don't want to lose, but I'm afraid to lose. So I'm afraid to do something with it. Where should they start in the
You start
process?
through education and surrounding yourself with an advisory board, which, that might sound a bit intimidating. A tribe, a network, whatever terminology that you're comfortable with, because oftentimes we don't know what we don't know. And so it's really important to surround yourself with subject matter experts who do know. And when I say your advisory board, your tribe, your network, it's everyone and anyone that you might seek out to make a financial decision. So whether, it's your nephew in Texas, if it's your mom, if it's a mentor, if it's a sponsor, if it's someone that has your best interest, then you want to bring them to the table. Professionally, and as it relates to creating wealth, that advisory board, I go through a process where I call it Alabama pie, and it always seems to resonate because who doesn't love pie? And it's about your assets. How are they titled? Why are they titled the way that they are? How much are they? What is the strategy for the asset? Because many people get into an investment, but the strategy is, how do you get out of the investment? And being a certified exit planning advisor, and that's about small businesses and getting into small businesses, that it's about the exit strategy of the business. So taking a look at your assets, how are they titled? Why are they titled the way that they are? And then what is the exit strategy eventually?
You are speaking a language that I had to learn from the ground up when it was like, oh, we have to do that all in a trust. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I had to learn why the avenue of what is a trust.
Yes.
Like, what do all these instruments mean? Now, nowadays, we have a lot of ability to search. When I first started this, it was not a lot of ability to search. So, you had your financial advisor, you had your attorney, you had your accountant, and obviously if you're starting from the beginning, you're starting a little bit smaller, but you at least have an accountant.
Yes.
If you don't have an accountant and you're making some money, get one. Please stop doing your own taxes.
Indeed.
Like,
yes,
start
please.
somewhere.
Please. Yes.
Again, when you get more, then you're like, okay, I might need an attorney who's what's the attorneys called that do the
trust and estate planning.
yes.
So let me get back to that Alabama pie,
Yes,
and then I
yeah,
want to get back to the advisory board, and I'm going to put a really great bow around that. So the assets, the next is the liabilities. To your point, it's not sign and drive, right? So you need to understand, what are your liabilities, the L in Alabama pie. What are the liabilities? Why do you have the liabilities? And what is the restructuring or the repayment strategy in the liabilities? Next is protection of your assets, right? So that's the P. So, who cares if you have this, big pile of money if it's not protected, because easy come, easy go, right? So it's really important to have a level of protection. When I say protection, that's insurance, so we talk about the trust and estate planning attorney, insurance agents. The next is your income, talking about taxes. Is it enough? Is it not enough? Is it too much? How do you gift it? What is your purpose? What's your legacy? So your income needs, and last but not least, Kristen, you bring it up, but your estate plan, and that's the E in the Alabama pie. What is your estate plan? And then many people say, well, I did my estate plan. Well, when did you do your estate plan? 15 years ago in Massachusetts, and, an estate plan is never complete. Guess when an estate plan is complete?
When you're not here anymore.
When you're dead. And then, it's too late then. So that is a living document, and it's certainly something to revisit often. Tax code changes, estate planning regulations, statute. I mean, it has to be in specific states. So that is something to be mindful. So, the takeaway there is remember your Alabama pie, and that's pretty funny coming from a girl from New England. And next year,
Southern Alabama look.
oh, thank you very much. How was that for a Southern drawl? Not too good, right? I'm trying. So, and then your advisory board. Okay, so oftentimes you can work with financial institutions that create this advisory board, oftentimes found in a private bank, and that would be that of a private banker. Okay, so they help you manage your cash flow. That's all. That's deposits and credit, right? That's your private banker. Then you need a portfolio manager to go alongside with you, help you make informed decisions regarding your asset allocation, your risk tolerance, your time horizon, also your exit strategy. Next, you want a trust advisor. That can be a trust and estate planning attorney, or oftentimes private bank have a trust advisor as part of their platform, which can save you a lot of time and energy. So that's critical and important, coupled with a trust administrator, and then also a wealth planner, right? It's about showing up, making it happen, and having a wealth plan in place will take your desire to accumulate wealth, preserve wealth, and run what if scenarios. What if I bought a $1.5 million home versus buying a $2.5 million home? How does that really work within my financial
I
picture?
probably could have used that on some of my decision making over the years.
So that advisory board is really, really important, that tribe. And, and also better together, partnering, having a wealth buddy, another woman where you can hold each other accountable for how are you spending, how are you saving, and how are you investing, and finding that perhaps that one partner better together where you hold each other accountable for what your wealth plan should look like, and really what you want that to look like long term.
I was going to say it sounds almost like a mastermind group that you have different personalities that would help you before, sometimes before you even go into invest, if you had like a group and you could share your problems, concerns, and so forth, that gives you a little bit of extra courage.
Yeah, no, spot on. And Lois, I'd be remiss if I didn't share this. Being in wealth management for 30 years, I've had the privilege of working with many women investors. And when I talk about the wealth plan, I remember this one particular moment where I had finished a wealth plan, and this woman was probably maybe between 65 and 70 years old. And she was a recent widow, had just lost her husband, Frank, and she was moved to tears. And I'm going, why is she moved to tears? I just showed her all these favorable numbers. She'll be able to visit her grandchildren. She'll be able to go on that Mediterranean cruise. She'll be able to do everything that her heart's desire. Why is she moved to tears? And she said, if Frank and I had done this together 10 years ago, we would have been able to enjoy our life, and now it's too late for Frank. And that really resonated with me about the power of planning, and also about legacy. Once we are ready to transfer the wealth, $1 trillion worth of wealth transfer that's about to happen, believe it or not, to women, in particularly, it's about the philosophy of wealth. And what I have found when, families, matriarchs, patriarchs want to pass on their legacy, what they're looking to pass on is not the facts and the figures of the wealth. It's really about their feelings and philosophies about the wealth. And that is what's so compelling.
Right.
Yeah, the value system. It's not the value of the dollar, but it's the values that created the dollar that really meant something to them.
What went into the creation of it?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm sure you probably, having been involved in lots of people's lives, these things come up, and that really is something that families should talk with their children about when they're developing their wills and trusts and so forth. But they also need a values plan. That's what I used to work with Wachovia before, whatever it was called.
You mean walk all over you?
Walk off, yeah. And
I digress.
and it was how do you transfer that knowledge? You want because you can see all the kids are not always the same. Not all the kids have all the same interests, which is kind of sad because some people just want the money and don't want anything to do with the family.
This is true.
But they want to try to pass that values thing along. Do you have that as a presentation that you let the family do? I mean, this woman obviously was keyed into that.
Yes. Well, I think just with any other type of organization, you hear of terms of a family office. And many years ago, I started private offices or family offices for the mass affluent and not just reserved for the high net worth. And it starts with a mission statement and having that conversation with the next generation of what is their value system, because that is going to be an integral part of how the funds are deployed. So again, making that mental shift away from it's about the rate of return to what is the true meaning of the wealth. It's not about the money, it's about what the money does. Money isn't a noun, money is a verb, money in motion. Money in motion is where growth happens. If you take the money, you put it in, under the mattress, guess what? You're actually losing 4% a year, right? So due to inflation. So it's really, really important to start the conversation with the mission statement, the value system, and move from there.
Just like a corporation.
Exactly.
What I found too is, in I would say personal experience, my regret is when I was learning all of this, I was like, oh, okay, I have the knowledge base, but then I went ahead and handed off how everything was handled to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the person you're married to. And you go later, what happened?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you didn't take an act. I find a lot of women do this. Now we have the kids, we're home, we're doing all that, and I get it. But you still have to be part of the conversation. One, God forbid, this is what we're talking about when we met. God forbid something happens, you don't know where everything is.
Exactly.
But then,
That's a biggie.
God forbid, if something happens, like somebody loses millions of dollars in the stock market, then you say, what happened? Because you don't know the avenues that your money is being used in and why they're being used there.
Right.
Now we're in the 2000s, so a lot of things happened with the, what was that?
Market 2008.
Yeah, no, before that, the technology bubble.
The dot bomb.
Yeah, when that
dot-com,
burst,
dot-com,
I mean,
yeah.
a lot of people, nobody, it is what it is. So I don't fully blame anybody. I just was a little blindsided because I had never understood or taken the time to understand diversity,
Oh, yes.
because everything was in a basket,
Yes.
and the basket was one basket.
Yes.
And so I think as women, or whoever the partner is that's deciding to just not be involved,
Absolutely.
get involved in the decision making. So God forbid something happens to them, they become incapacitated, you know where everything is.
Yes.
Like,
Exactly.
you have to know where everything is. If you don't know where your stuff is, you're going to have a really hard time. And then you're going to find, like, 20 years later, you've got a few $1,000s or more hanging out in the state, making you no money all those years.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden they're like, hi, we have this found money for you.
Right.
So
And I think that goes along with having that partner involved, whether it's a girlfriend, a friend, your spouse, but that way that conversation is always being had. I mean, obviously an annual financial plan should be a goal and objective for all of us, every individual, just so you
I
stay
never even
engaged.
thought about annually.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at it. We were talking about the roofs last week, and
Yeah.
making sure you get your roof
And-
inspected.
or exactly.
Why aren't we looking at our finances on an annual basis?
Right. And looking at everything. I mean, even your insurance, taking a look at your insurance
Yeah.
every 3 years. I mean, it's so important to have that checklist. And again, that network or that tribe or that advisory board, it's all about accountability and making sure you have a partner that can help you stay accountable.
Like, I don't really blame anybody. I kind of blame myself, just because I was like, oh, it's taken care of, when I might have had a little different take on a few ideas just from listening and watching to people. At least I would have been like, oh, maybe we should diversify into this or that. And it would have been like everything in one basket.
Yes.
'Cause
Yes.
especially with like Bitcoin and all these things going on now in stocks. It's the stock market's up, but what goes up goes down.
Yes, that's right. The
So
volatility.
I've learned you have to have your different baskets of risk, I guess.
Yes. Well, we started that part of the conversation by you saying, the one regret that I have. And I mean, life is full of regret. It can be full of regrets, but I would caution you on that mindset, and I'm your dear friend. So
Yeah.
this is the accountability factor, right? It's never too late. And
Yeah.
I think it's so important that women understand that. We started off this section with, start young. But I mean, we're in Naples, Florida, right? And what is the medium age here? So I think it's really important for everyone to know it's never too late. And to your point, there's going to be ups and downs, and with volatility comes growth. But be mindful that you can always start today. Have confidence. You are enough. It is enough, and have the courage to start today.
Is there? Yeah, that's a big deep breath. Going back to starting young, how young is young? Do they have, and I say kids, teenagers, investment groups, or things that they can for kids?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm careful not to promote any businesses or organizations unless they're a
Right.
nonprofit. But my children, I started them off with a green light card.
What?
A green light card, it almost operates like a debit card, but within that app, and it's a physical plastic card, and they can connect it to their Apple Pay. But it creates goals, and you can actually pay them for their chores that they complete or good grades. It's a pretty intuitive app there, and it teaches them to save and to invest and to spend. And I talked a little bit about that earlier. And so you're never too young to start. And what if you're a mom out there and you're thinking about how can I help my 12-year-old or my 9-year-old invest, empower them to invest with things that they know about, and that things that they can research themselves about, that will, believe it or not, now become part of their TikTok reels, right? And now just by default, they'll begin to be educated and informed about investments that are in companies that are of interest to them.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. Did you know?
I did not know about that, but as you were talking, that's my son. When he got his lump sum of money when he reached a certain age, he was very, very involved. Even before that, he was like, "Can I just get like $1,000 and invest in?" And he was
Yeah.
all into Tesla because he was into science, which had to do with Nikola Tesla. And then he heard
Right.
about Tesla, so then he wanted to take some of his money and invested it in that. And he's done those little things.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, sure, but you understand the risk, and went through it with someone who knew more than me about those things. And he's done pretty good. He's
Yes.
in his 20s now, but this was
Tesla,
before he
that's
was
good.
18. Yeah. It was before he was, I think before, right when he turned 18, he wanted to do some investing, small investing. And I was like, sure. But yeah, you're right. It's never too young to start. But I didn't know about that either. I think that's great it empowers them where they're not always asking you for money on how to spend their money.
Mhm.
And if they make a mistake, they're young enough to learn from it.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Nice.
Well, I really appreciate
I
it.
had
Did you
a-
have you had
Let
another
me
question?
ask another. You talked about risk management. How we always like to have assessment tools. We know that insurance have risk managers where they evaluate everything. How does a single woman evaluate that, or a family member evaluate risk?
Well, I think it goes back to what,
Group them.
yeah, what are the goals and objectives, right? And when you hear that a lot in financial service, what are your goals and objectives? And I can't tell you how many times on the other side of the table, I get a blank stare, like, I don't know what my goals are, finish my laundry by Sunday. I don't know. It's about lifestyle, right? So oftentimes I'll remove the word goals and objectives with, what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And then beyond your lifestyle, what are some of your fears, right? Because your fear is the risk. So having a candid conversation about what are your fears, and then ultimately, what is your legacy? If you are no longer here today, what do you want your legacy to be? And really having some ownership on that will minimize the chaos, for those individuals who are grieving the loss of you. So if that is important if you really want to minimize the heartbreak of the grief that one would experience as a result of losing you. It's really important to understand what you want your legacy to be. So when I think about risk, I like to flip it and think about risk is, how do I manage my lifestyle? How do I manage the unexpected, which might be a health scare, concern, becoming incapacitated, and then ultimately death. Those are risks, but turn it into lifestyle, turn it into what you want your legacy to be, and then have a conversation realistically about what your fears are. So again, going back to that conversation about what do you want to see happen, and going in, it's all about the money being the fuel and the engine of getting you from point A to point B, this journey of life, of your lifestyle, of your fears, and of your legacy. So it starts there.
I love the legacy language, blending that with your vision and values, and a great place to start with families when they're planning. And it's certainly a great way to educate the little ones and talk about that so they begin to associate that language
Yes,
with how they live their lives.
that's right. Well, thank you both so much for having me today. This has been such a great, candid, and thought-provoking conversation. I also, in full disclosure, just so I don't get in trouble by my compliance folks, by no means is this a means of solicitation or advice or guidance, but it's just three gals having a candid
Our
conversation
living
about,
room conversation
yeah, living
about
room
what we can do.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
'Cause I
thank
don't
you.
even know where you work, so that's okay. I can say that in full disclosure. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful you would come and do that and share that information. That was
And expect nothing in return. Isn't that great?
nothing except a high five.
Yes, there
you
we go.
Okay.
Well,
Well, we
speaking of
appreciate
just giving back as far as anything in control, one thing I do want to share, since we were talking about the youth and building their confidence, in Collier County, many of our youth are being challenged with depression and anxiety. So I just want to put a plug out there for Sounds Mind, which benefits the David Lawrence Center. In Collier County, death by suicide is the second cause of death for our youth.
I had
So
no idea.
they've got a fabulous event at the Ritz-Carlton next month. So I just want to if anything, just put a plug in there for
That's great.
Sounds Mind with David Lawrence Center. And
Can
they,
you get
they
us a
deserve it.
flyer? Is there a flyer?
Absolutely,
You could
yes,
send
yeah.
us a flyer.
I'll be happy
and then
to do that.
We'll put it
Yeah,
up.
we'll plug it again.
Well, thank
For
you so
sure.
much for having me, ladies. I really
Okay.
appreciate it. It's been a
All
great
right.
experience.
Thanks for
Take care.
coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Wow. That was just I have so much going through my mind.
Well, I was sitting here just taking notes like I'm back in college.
I love that you take notes
I
for
always
both of
have
us.
this and have my own little. I thought she was going to go through the whole Alabama. She did the abbreviation of Alabama.
Well, you know what I noticed? As I said, what type of attorney? We have a will and trust attorney as one of our sponsors.
Exactly.
So
we should have him on to
we
talk
should have
about
him
some of
on
that.
to talk more in depth about some of the things that Yvonne brought up, because I think when people think about making money, they don't think about the legacy side. We're
Yeah.
just, we're just trying to survive at first, and
Right.
then we're building something. And then, even having Elizabeth on was a great segue, because she's building something and it's growing. And then you do reach a point where you have to think of, but sometimes we don't think about the beginning about the end.
The exit strategy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And that exit strategy, like Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. That's the second.
And some people think legacy, they think death. And it's it's all gonna happen at some point.
Yeah. We're in the process of all dying anyway. So what does it make?
Right. Every day. So if you start thinking about how I want to leave this world and what legacy I want to leave it with, you can take that with your business. You can take that personal. You can take that in philanthropy. And so I really loved that conversation. I'm so glad she could make it.
Yeah, I'm glad she could do it too.
Yeah, this is awesome.
We have our third guest third guest. Whoa, we're just moving right along
Should we do
here.
the sponsors again real quick?
Go ahead and do that. And I'm going to grab I left my notes over there, so excuse me for being rude.
I will
grab
do
my,
the
you do the
sponsors
sponsors.
without ya. First, we have Yacht Masters Marine Surveyors for all your marine surveying needs, and Mighty Dog Roofing for the roofs out there, and Devoe Cadillac for your driving needs. Supreme Auto Collision for when you take your Devoe and may have a mishap. Go down there and see them. Marquise Diamond Mobile Detailing will keep you all shiny and on the road. There we are. Three Palms Legal Wills, Trust, and Estates to talk about those legacy building and how to make those avenues. Torch Yoga, keep healthy, stretch. Amherst Roofing, if you caught us last week, he was on with us, gave us some good ideas like having an annual roof inspection. And then, of course, myself for my coaching and consulting and my real estate. I should really throw one up there for the podcast, the Icons of Naples.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice you hadn't done that.
I'll have to make a new slide.
There
I
you
just
go.
realized too, I'm so bad at self-promotion.
Well, you're all making me know that I need to get some new headshots and new pictures and all that because I'm sitting between now two very beautiful ladies. And one lady, they were having some trouble with the equipment, and she and I just began talking random. I don't think even the screen was up, and I learned so much about her. And so now I want to introduce. Where's our World Bartender Day? This is what made me think of her at first.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
World Bartender, because she's so much more than World Bartender. National Self Check, National Women Inventors. We're going to show that later. There we go.
Yeah,
Look at that.
World Bartender Day.
at
Well,
that.
Miss Jessica Lee, we are so excited to have you.
Lois, I love sitting next to you, and I had so much fun the last time we were here. We
we-
were cackling. We were laughing.
We ruled that show.
Did they not exist that day? They were like,
don't
you're not here.
They were over here. We were over there. We were just chatting away. We're
right,
like, oh, the boys are still here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so great about
Thanks
it.
for having me. I'm always happy to come back here. I love it.
But we're
So
not
that-
going to do rap. I'm sorry.
It's all. It's quite all right. I'm a jack of all trades.
That's
we can
exactly right.
we can talk many things, and I love the greenery and the flowers of what you've done.
Lois has done an amazing job.
It's so
decorating.
beautiful, and I love that you're pulling the red in. Very on brand of you.
Yes.
Very on brand indeed. There we
Yes.
go.
If you would have brought the nachos, she could have brought the
I
margaritas.
could have had
coulda
those
had
right there. I
girl,
didn't think about it.
Anytime.
We could have wrapped the last half of this show.
Did you use that gift card? We got to use.
I'm going to talk to you about
Yeah,
that.
we're
'cause
gonna
I
go.
have it with me.
Yeah, lunch. Just
I brought it with me because
Good.
I think you need to let them know I can still use it.
I get to sign off on things like that, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
So
So, yes.
I brought you in today to talk about not just bartending, because your affiliation with the minibar. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Minibar district, staff only the alley, and now Cheeky Tiki.
And are you a partner? Are you a manager? Are you?
So
I'm not
there's
sure the right language.
yeah, no, it's quite all right. Thank you for asking. My husband is an owner, so therefore the wife
Therefore,
is
yeah,
an
I
owner.
was right. There you go.
Yeah, I definitely pride myself on an ownership level. When you're coming with great ideas and you understand the business and hospitality, you just have a sense of pride. I mean, even when we didn't own our own places, I walked around like I owned it, just
Yeah.
because you have that sense of pride and
Sure.
yeah, and you're passionate about it, and you're like, someone's got to take ownership, and so here we are.
Yeah.
We do those things.
Do we have a picture of that? I think I put up.
Let's see.
Oh, there we are.
There we are.
Yeah.
That's when you-
Cuties.
Yeah, when you guys were working. Oh, yeah, it's great. What's the address of that again? I always
1200 Central Avenue. So we're around the corner from Fifth Avenue, and we are in what's dubbed the Design District.
Right.
So we are central and good lit, right across from Baker Park. People seem to understand Ferguson's as a reference,
Yes.
and the Bowl. So we are right there.
Right in
and-
between all of that, we
in
have all these
between.
great little cool things
You
with
know,
the
How it
Shark.
evolved. Yeah.
My real estate office had a going away party there, and it was the first time I'd been there. And I'm like, how did I not know about this place?
That gives me great hope.
And then I liked it so much. I had my birthday party there.
See, you mentioned that the last time. It gives me
Yeah.
great hope. 90% of the people I talk to are still discovering it, and it's been
Yes.
2.5 years, and they wouldn't know where it was. I mean, the minibar was built, and it was a loading zone.
you know? So
Right.
from scratch up it went, and then the hurricane came and sort of demolished these other places, and the landlords were like, we don't, you know, the
Yeah.
tenants were like, we don't want to do this anymore. And so then we were like, should we do this? Should we do this? And then before you knew it, it was just like this envisioned concept that was like built from the ground up. And, you know, I'm excited that
and
people
each
are
one
still
It's darling.
discovering.
It's all the, what are the different concepts?
Yeah, they each have their own little like
Identity.
you know?
Yeah, but we're trying to, you know, it's so funny because they do have their own identity, but we're trying to have this cohesiveness and streamline the process. So now everything is like walkable. So you start in the mini bar, which is like family turf. It's a double bar. There's TVs. We have music. We have brunch. All outdoors. Fans, misters. So we try to be as accommodating as possible for the patrons. And you walk through there, and then you go to the alley, which is really well thought out. Kind of now it turned into this like billiards game room sort of thing, but a throwback to the early 2000 New York. So the alley literally feels like you're in an alley standing in between two New York City buildings. And then when you walk through the alley, you kind of come the side entrance to District, which is like green and bougainvillea and murals on the wall and these fun edgy neons. And we just expanded. Now there's a dance floor and we have DJs and it's sushi and cocktails. And now you're in this like incredible date night. But then if you just pivot a little and you'll see a door that says staff only, hush, hush. Now you're in our immersive 1920s speakeasy. So the idea really was you can go and then you capture the audience and then they sort of move freely about the space. And then each experience is different. So it's not just like, let's go here for drinks and let's go here for dinner. Like you get to stay the whole night and experience something different.
Yeah.
That's
So
kind of
staff
what
only is for everybody?
everybody.
Oh, I thought it just meant staff. So.
Yeah. No, that's just what we call it, you know, because you see the door and it says staff only and you're like, oh, I can't go in there. But really,
Oh,
you
that's the
can.
speakeasy part. Oh,
Yes.
it's like the secret
Do you,
hideaway.
do you have one of
Yes.
those little slider things that you have to
You
look
know,
through?
Naples is crazy. We used to. We had this whole process. You had to ask if we were hiring. It was this whole thing. And Naples was they didn't really want to embrace the speakeasy part, so we just had to like say, okay, fine, we're open. If you find us, you found us, and everyone is welcome in. They didn't like the whole what's the password?
Yeah.
They're like, but wait, I'm Mr. Brown. I don't need one. And we're like, you still need one, but you know, they got used to it real quick. So yeah.
Well, that's a great concept because,
Thank
like, "Hey, let's
you.
go hit 4 or 5 places tonight." Well,
That's
let's
the
just go down
vibe.
to the
You
mini
can do it
bar
all in
and then
one
we'll hit those.
That's the vibe. And kids can come to two of them. You know what I mean? And it's like we had a wedding this past weekend. It was 250 people. And it was just such a beautiful sight to see so many people under like the neon lit up palm trees. The music was going, food, drinks, friends. It felt like something in your backyard, like a
Yeah.
very big backyard, but something in your backyard. It felt like family and it was beautiful. It's exactly what we envisioned. And like anything, small business, especially restaurants, because there's just so many options, it's going to take some time for everybody to discover it. And they're going to discover it in its own time. That's why we do a lot of community efforts. We just won Zubilee, Judge's Choice, 2 years in a row. Yes. And we do like the craft beer fest. We're having our first annual chili cook-off for first responders March 28th. And that's going to be a really big event where the kids can come out and see sort of the tanks and the engines and
And you're
the
going to do it
vehicles
right there.
there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we're hoping to get 15 to 20 participants from firefighters, police, greater
There are
Greater
some
Naples
chili
Fire.
cooking firefighters out there.
Isn't it so fun?
There
Yeah.
really are. There
Yeah.
really, well, Lois can definitely help get the word out on that one.
Yeah, that would be good.
She's
Well,
got it.
that's what she does.
She's got that.
That's what you do, girl.
I don't know what I do,
I
but
mean, I'll put it
You
out
do it
too, but
all.
you've got a lot of that.
yeah, that
that
I can't get it on
military-
Facebook again. I'm not going to
Well,
start
I'll,
that
I'll
all
share
over.
that. I'll share that. Do you guys have that up? Because I'll share it.
Yeah,
flyer
absolutely. We
that's up
actually
on-
we actually just made the post yesterday, and now I'm stopping at all the little firehouses, and we're going to be doing some great content with them, trying
Hey,
to figure
Chris-
out.
Chris Lombardo can put it out too.
Chris Lombardo,
Yeah.
Pat Dearborn, we need to get
Yeah.
that in their hot little hands.
He's involved. He's got an email out to him. He's involved. He said that the Greater North Fire, I believe, is all in, and so we're excited, and we want to do this every year, and we want to
Calamari.
raise funds. We want to bring awareness. I want it family friendly, and I want just a really really good time. I just think it's fun. It's fun.
I haven't seen that since years ago. St. Matt's had done one
Oh,
when Craig Weinbaum,
That's a
something.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah, that
long
he was
time.
East Naples.
good. So it
Something
sounds
together.
like
Yeah,
it's meant to be back.
yeah, I think so. I think it's overdue.
They
Okay.
had
I
they
love
had
this
one in
contest.
1978 down at Port of the Islands.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You
it
were
was
in
chili
Frontier.
cook-off. It was
How
sponsored by
fun.
Budweiser, and it was. And then
Yeah.
they had a beauty contest, and all these guys were dressing up like women, and they made me go up on stage because I was a woman,
And
and
you had to be like, yo, the prettiest. You're the
yeah,
prettiest of them all.
some guy said, "Show us your boobs," and I went, "What?" He goes, "Not you, him."
Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, "Oh my god!" I was so embarrassed. Let me out of here.
Yeah, we are talking to some companies for sponsorship. So if you are interested in sponsoring the event, that would be
What a
awesome.
cool thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that to me. I can get it to Jim Calamari and Heather.
Yeah.
I can't say her last name, Miss Heather with the fire department. Yeah, we can
Oh,
get that out. Oh,
that'd be
yeah, because
great.
they're very competitive.
Oh my gosh. See, and so am I.
Oh, the houses are
Very
competitive
competitive.
against each other.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like North Naples. I mean, you could do
Mhm.
North against East and all that stuff.
All
But
that
they're a
stuff.
little competitive. They're
See,
competitive
that's
within
fun.
each
I think
other.
this is fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
This
It is
is
fun.
Yay.
yeah.
Yay.
Okay, well then, you know what? We should consider 239 going live that day.
Well, I think we should.
I
I have to
love that
talk to
idea.
Kevin.
That would be awesome. Yay.
I would say yes, but I'm not the boss of
Oh,
anything.
I'm talking to you like you're the boss. I'm like, Lois,
not
let's
the
go.
boss of
No,
anything.
they know they're gonna actually set up and do it live.
That's
So
great.
yeah,
Perfect.
it's gonna
Perfect.
be
Love
awesome.
it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it a lot. Well, here's the other thing, other than you having that fabulous business, you also have.
Statement piece.
Yes, that's what I learned about her. Do you know this about her?
I think I heard something, but I
Put
I
that
you'll have to.
fabulous. Should put that fabulous picture of her
Yeah.
on the screen so we
On a
can.
good day, right? Oh, look at me.
Oh, yeah, girl, you styling?
Girl, on a good day. Yeah. So statement pieces, that's my baby. So I was in hospitality my whole life. I left in 2014. I started a company, Statement Piece, and that's when I really started like working for myself. I'll never go back. Once you realize you're not hitting your own ceiling, like you just keep striving for the best, and it's like away we go. But I started out as a sustainable wooden jewelry and lifestyle brand. So I have CO2 lasers, belt sanders, all the fun tools, all the things, and I manufacture products. So it started out, with a necklace, and I remember making this necklace and the energy. I could just feel it. I was like, my little baby was on the ground at the time, and I'm just holding this piece up, and I look at my husband and I said, I'm gonna put this everywhere. Like, what, who wouldn't want to buy it? I'm gonna put this everywhere. And I'm a little witch, right? And so I got a lot of manifesting energy. I am a creative, so I was just like blessed with this, like, knowing this vision. So if I see it, I'm like, we're going. It's already happened in my mind. And I think that's half the battle with manifesting. And I did, without investors, I put it in over 3,000 stores. And that was a lot. I started out going to market. I didn't like the energy around that. And it was cold calling. It was like, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I offer. And I started to learn to like change the vibration around it instead of being kind of thirsty, like, oh, this is what I do. You guys got to see. Maybe you can carry me. It was like, no, this is who I am. This is what I make. And if you want to be a part of it, like, let's talk about this further. So then jewelry expanded into apparel, which expanded into lifestyle products, bath products. So now it's really, it's a brand that's really vested in energy and authenticity. And it's really cool because over the years, and I still get these messages and it's awesome, right? How, I saw you 8 years ago and you've inspired me every day since, and I've started my business, and you never know. And I think because I'm local and I'm tangible, but I'm yet international, I think that it becomes easier for people to believe in themselves because they're like, it's Jess, like Jessie did this. And I'm not a gatekeeper. Like, I'll tell you everything I learned along the way. That's one of my, that's what I go speak about at conferences, is like, if I have the information, like, let me guide you. And then at least you're prepared to, go do the things and have a little bit more wisdom, because I learned everything kind of on my own, but I did have some mentors. And yeah, so now we do Statement Piece. I'm actually in my studio now. It's just above this one.
I knew it's open
That's
now.
why I saw. I'm like,
Yes.
what is she doing
Yeah.
around here?
Yes.
Are they making food close by?
Yeah, right. I know. It's funny. Yeah, no. So now I manufacture just above this lovely podcast. So now I get to kind of step into that energy too. And you're welcome to come see it and see what I do. But now I manufacture up there, and I had 5 employees at one time, but the economy kind of shrunk a little bit as it did. But then all of our attention was diverting to the restaurants 2.5, 3 years ago. And so now I'm kind of bringing it back and fine tuning, and then I'm putting a little bit more focus over here in hopes to get a couple more employees. So reach out, hit me
Reach
up,
out. Touch
holler at your
somebody's
girl,
hand.
holler at your girl. I'm looking for the one. And
Is
then
this a piece of yours? Did you?
no, it's
No.
not. It's not, but very similar.
Very
Yeah,
similar. It's
very
very
similar.
nice, yeah.
Very bohemian, very urban. I say it's a lot of, edgy words, but manifesting, but with like grit and authenticity. So, but thank you for bringing awareness, because a lot of people do know what I do. A lot of people don't know what I do, and they think it's all in the restaurants. And I'm like, it's so much more, and it just keeps becoming more, which is awesome.
Well, where would they find your pieces?
Statementpiece.com. But locally, I do a lot with Badass Coffee, the Ritz-Carltons. I'm in a lot of different boutiques, wellness spas, holistic little spas.
Cute.
But statementpiece.com, and it's PEACE. It's a bit of a double
That's right.
entendre there. Yeah, where
I
you
love
like
double.
statement piece. I can't find that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's statement piece. It's a play on words. And look at
Sta-
my husband over there. Look at that.
That
Oh,
cutie
so proud. He's
patootie.
a little cutie.
Yes, he
We
is.
gotta get him on here. You guys would love him. If you haven't
We
spent,
should do that. I
yeah,
always just come to you because
yeah,
you just ask you a question, you wind up like a little doll, and there
yeah,
you go.
and boom, there we
Yes,
are.
like the
Just
ever
figure out
ready
the next
bunny.
one. Yeah. Oh
Well-
gosh, I know the energy is like that.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, the next
But
time
that's
you
what makes you have a great guest.
Thank you.
yeah.
And that's why we could just chit chat.
Yeah,
They could take a break
You-
when we were on it.
Yeah, just
it is so. And
We're
sometimes
like over there bantering, like just the two of us, and these guys are like,
Kid-
can we
Hi.
come in? No, no, don't bother us.
It is funny. Well, and I think you two are adding like so much value to the show also, because you're coming with an authentic nature, and like you feel that. And that's kind of what I speak at when I do go to these conferences, and I'm asked to speak to women, and the groups are never too big, but even like 200 women listening, like you have to show up as yourself, and you have to understand what it is that you want,
Yeah.
and you got to keep the vibration high, and you got to remove the toxic people. And when you speak from a place that's authentic and sincere and out of love and gratitude, it's just good. It's just good.
Lands on that spot with somebody else.
And it's so true. It's like little hearts coming out of your mouth, falling in the hearts of someone else. And I love you. You're the best.
Oh, gonna do that. Stay right here a second. I was going to see if I could call and get some information because this is also trading card day.
Okay, what are
You
we
ever heard of
trading?
this
No,
company? Yeah.
but let's go.
Just would you pop those up, those 2 trading card things? I don't know if I can get him. I'm going to try. If not, then we'll finish.
You know
we'll finish it.
everything.
Well,
Oh, I love the White Rose. Have you been?
no.
oh,
It's stunning.
I saw the pictures on the inside. It was fabulous.
It's gorgeous. I did an empowering women event there, and it's amazing.
You did a what there?
It was Empowered to Bloom. It was an amazing event for women, and Statement Piece was set up as a vendor, and it was one of my favorite events. I mean, you walk in and it's breathtaking. It's beautiful.
Oh, I didn't put a picture up there of it, but it is. When I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is where they go to do trading cards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they're doing something like that, but that's cute.
Well, this one,
it's a big thing now, trading cards. Like I had no idea. I mean, we had a batch of Pokemon cards. I was like, whatever, 10 years ago, let's get rid
Right.
of them. But apparently it's a huge thing now. Like I always thought basketball, baseball for trading card,
Yeah,
those kind of trading cards. But now it's
for kids, this
for
is
kids.
amazing.
There's so
Hi,
much.
is this Mark?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Mark. This is Lois Boland on 239 Live. I just took a chance to call you for our last little segment on the show, and wanted to talk with you about the Naples Card Show coming up.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah, we were sitting here with a woman who owns the mini bar down on Central Avenue, and she was saying, "Oh, I love that place at the White Rose."
Oh, tell her I said thank you.
I will say that. So tell us what's coming up.
Yeah, tell us all about this.
March the 1st. What is that? March the 1st.
Yep, it's March the 1st. It goes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And basically what we do is we host in conjunction with the ownership of the White Rose, we host a really awesome stylistic type of card show that this area has never really seen.
Hmm.
It's always been about, like kind of in the back. When it comes to the way these shows were done, they were always done kind of like, you know, not so nice places or just kind of whatever was there that would take you. And we decided we would offer something to greatly elevate that experience.
Well, that is, like I said, I've only seen pictures of the inside, and it's stunning what you're going to do. But what is this show going to be? Is it just Pokemon this on the March the 1st?
So we do several other card games as well. Predominantly, the show is made up of Pokemon cards and Pokemon card vendors. But there are other games that are involved in it that are pretty popular. There's a game called One Piece and Magic the Gathering and Riftbound. And these are all really, really popular games that the local vendors and vendors from also out of town, because now we're getting a lot of vendors, wanting to come in from out of town. They'll bring all sorts of different types of cards and stuff that most people around here might never see. And they just kind of have all of our guests come through and buy and sell to us and just kind of have like a mini 6-hour party.
Well, how I learned about you was through a local sheriff, Matt Vale. He had taken his son to a card show, and so I called him. I said, "Would you come on and talk about this?" And he goes, "Well, I don't really know. We just go to him." And he was going to get me in touch with somebody, and then somebody else, and then I sent an email, and then you guys answered me, and
Yeah, that was the same. I knew somebody who traded Adam
yeah,
from the marketing company, and he's like, I just trade them. I couldn't tell you who to call.
well, there you go. And so now we
Now we
know.
know.
So where is the White Rose?
The White Rose is down in Naples, a little bit closer, like if you're heading to Golden Gate, about like 5 minutes past Gulf Coast High School.
Okay.
But it's a nice, like really, really developing area. So a lot of really cool amenities around there, some really good restaurants and cool places to shop. So it's a little deeper into Naples, but I mean, once you make that drive, it's about maybe 10 minutes off the exit. Once you make that drive, you really start to see like all the really cool stuff that's coming up in Naples right now.
We just had the owner of the company, Kevin Wilkerson, that dropped off. Are these things from his place? Oh, he just brought up some. How do you say Pokemon? Is it Pokemon? Pokemon?
It's however you want to pronounce it.
Okay, all right, Pokemon. Well, he just brought
I
up
had
two
no
things on
idea.
Spider-Man. What's that one? What's that one on?
This is Pokemon.
That one's Pokemon.
Twilight
Pokemon.
Masquerade.
Ah. Well, see, I still have no idea what it is.
I did not know that the trading card industry had grown in the way that it had outside of athletics. This is amazing.
It's huge. Yeah.
Kevin's like, it's huge.
Yeah, he's going, it's huge.
Yeah, Pokemon is the most lucrative intellectual property in history. And
That's
that includes things like Disney, Marvel, all of that. Pokemon has made more money for an IP than any other thing out there. And for the finance heads out there, the Pokemon card business has outpaced the S&P 500 and gold and silver in terms of metric growth than any other type of card or luxury hobby type item.
that's
Well,
bananas.
we just had somebody here talking about investments, so we should have had her back here to hear this.
It's really crazy. A lot of people that are really, really into finance, they love this hobby because, there are things that you can invest in. There are things that you can speculate on. And it's not just sometimes about growing your collection. It's about, just kind of like playing the stock market, but with cards. So a lot of people don't know that side of it. But, if you're looking for a good way to pump your 401k, then this might be the hobby for you.
Interesting. So this event would be great for people to kind of get their feet wet and go explore that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of very educated people there, and we're always happy to inform and direct and give advice to them when it comes to what cards to buy, what cards to hold, and and then also just cards to collect, fun stuff. And it's really cool. The last event we did, we had AJ Dillon there. He's an NFL running back, and he was there filming and made a really nice video about the show. And so we're also really attracting some other like kind of big names as well.
Like?
Yeah, don't leave us hanging.
He's a 6-year running back in the NFL, and he's a huge Pokemon card collector.
Wow.
And we also I can't say some names right now, but
Okay.
there are some names in the pipeline. But some really, really big names are going to be integrating themselves into the show, hopefully very soon.
All right.
Wow.
How about let's put up that other flyer? We're going to put up the other flyer, which we'd like to have you maybe come into the office if that would be all right for the Naples Card Show on March the 22nd.
Yes, that would be awesome. I'd love to.
And you got sports cards in that. I had the luxury of visiting a private collector's New York Yankees, and he had
yeah.
Babe Ruth and Mickey
Oh,
Mantle's
wow.
card. I mean, the original. I mean, it was really pretty if you like baseball, but
Buy a
dang.
house with that, yeah.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame, said he had the finest collection outside of the Hall of Fame. So,
Wow, that's incredible.
yeah, Jeepers is right. I know. I was scared to touch anything.
I know. I would be like, I'll just observe here.
Okay, so March
just-
22nd. Hey, I'm going
no
to get
chance.
back with you. Going to give you a buzz, and we'll bring you in. So I think I'm going to have to take a little trip down there on the 1st, so I
think I
can.
will. I'm
Now
curious.
you
That's
have
cute.
tweaked my interest.
And it's fun for the
Yep,
kids.
we're right in the front, so make sure you come by and say hi.
You bet. We'll do that. Hey, listen, thanks a lot, and we'll be in touch soon.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.
See, look at that.
Who
Oh, wow.
knew?
See, good job.
Who knew?
Good job.
That's incredible. I mean, I almost feel a little gut punched for giving away those cards, but it was 10 years ago. Who knew? No, when I say it with this, my son had, and he outgrew it. So
Yeah.
we had all this
No,
stuff.
listen,
Yeah. That is a gut punch.
I
we
offloaded it to the
purged-
next
oh,
child
boy.
I saw. I was like, "Do you do Pokemon stuff?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I said,
Oh.
"Here you go." So I hope they're enjoying it.
Wow.
Do they do Beanie Babies? Because I still have a collection of them. Remember those things?
Heck yeah. The trends. Trends
Trends
are
are back. I
wild.
just still have them. Like somebody said, well, just give it away. I'm like, I've had it this long. Why would I do that? I'm
It'll
just going to
ca-
keep it.
No, you keep it. It'll
You
come
almost
back.
don't feel like you want to give it away because you don't want to tote that tote around anymore. And you're like, oh.
No, I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think
We're
we're about
hooked
to
on them.
wrap up the show.
Well, should we
Kevin,
run
do you
through
have
the
anything to say?
sponsors?
Huh? Yeah, we're going to thank the sponsors.
Oh, I got one.
What?
What are you what are you grateful for this week?
What am
What's
I grateful
a
for?
gratitude mantra? What do you have?
A gratitude mantra.
Yeah.
I am grateful for my health.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Health is
Yeah.
wealth.
I'm
baby.
grateful for everything, but being healthy is a good thing.
Yeah. For me, the first thing that came to mind is to be able to do this show
Aw.
because it's really my passion. I
Aw.
mean, doing my second podcast now and then being here, I leave here and I'm in a complete euphoric state when I get done.
I totally agree. I can't take that away from you. I think that's amazing. I too am the same. It's like when you have that creative outlet or whatever, and then
That
you have a
energy.
safe space
Yeah.
to like fulfill your passion.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
huge.
need to find some new sponsors for Icons of Naples because
We're
we
gonna
had
do
our
that.
production
Oh.
sponsor kind of, and I still got to pay for things.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that'll happen.
Of course it will.
Gotta
It's
draw that
already
in. Gotta
it's
draw
already
that in.
happening. Everything's
So
happening in our favor.
My goal is to eventually just be able to do my passion because I've really found out how much, like when you're creating.
yeah.
I mean,
much
when they're
you love
like,
it.
we need a guest, I'm like, okay, we need question. Okay. Yeah, it's not even like work. To me.
No, it's not, and that's
It's so
how
much-
you
yeah.
know. That's how you know. Very
What
good.
about you? What about your gratitude?
I'm grateful for my space again.
yeah.
I was manufacturing in a house on my property, a guest house, and that's where I did my business, and it was great. And it was close to home. A friend of mine ended up in a place with black mold a couple of years ago, so I gave her the space, and I shrunk down a bit. And she's made it such a home. I can't ask for it back. So
Aw.
being able to have a space now is so important if you're creative. Just
Yes,
space
exactly.
to decompress, without your children, without your dog, without your husband,
To
to be
be.
able to be and to get
Mhm.
creative. So I'm grateful. Shout out Chris Shucar. I'm grateful for my space to be able to see what I'm about to create because it's only up
nice.
from here. Look at us.
Kevin, what about you? Yeah, oh,
Aw,
well, there you
for
go.
us.
Grateful for us ladies. Well, that's pretty
Aw.
special. Miss Di, Sister D, what are you grateful for?
Another day.
Another day.
Another
right.
day. Well, when you wake
Another
up,
day.
that's a thing
Every
to be
day
grateful
above
for.
ground is a good day.
Always.
You know, and it's interesting that we have the opportunity to change our perspective at any time. We can have whatever day we want to have, and a bad moment shouldn't dictate the entire day. Everyone's like, I'm having a bad day. No, you had a bad moment. And if you don't reframe that, and the way we can reframe that, it's discipline of the mind. And when you can get in there and be like, you know what? I'm going to look at it like this instead. And your body's so objective. So you can like trick your cells into thinking you're having, by just smiling in the mirror. You're like, I feel silly. But then your body's like, yo, she's smiling.
She's smiling. She's looking good.
Yeah, you can change your day, you guys. So if you had a bad moment, don't let it take your whole day.
Exactly.
When people cut me off, I just look at it and I go, well, I guess she had to get there pretty quick.
Or the angels are protecting me from
that accident
from danger.
down the road or something. Yeah, anytime something happens, I forget and I have to walk back in the house for something.
Yeah.
I always say, instead of being frustrated that I might be running late, I go, now what did I just avoid?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, what is Bruce Lee? What's he say? He's like, be like water. You know,
like water.
Like you got to flow.
Like water.
I love that.
Flow, baby.
I use that a lot.
Good.
We're just flowing today, people.
Yeah.
Just last week, it was a day of last week when we worked together, it was a
Transition
lot of transitions we were talking about. And I'm like, I just told people, if you're feeling out of sorts.
We ended the year of the snake,
Yep.
and we stepped into the fire horse. Every single day has been something significantly amazing has happened to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to look because a lot of the other stuff will come in too. But I bet you, if you look back, you'll go, wow, something amazing did happen every single day since then.
Well,
this is the year for abundance.
Yes. A lot of great things happening in America. A lot of great things in our lives.
In the studio.
A lot of great things happening on the show.
And are we ready to wrap up? Do you want to do the sponsors one last time?
Yeah.
Why don't we
shout out?
Where?
Here. We have the show sponsors, Yacht Masters. We have Marine Surveyors, Devoe Cadillac, Torch Hot Yoga. Shout out Tony, Leigh Lux Enterprises, Marquise, Diamond Mobile Detail, Supreme Auto Collision, Amherst Roofing Incorporated, in Three Palms Legal. Shout out to all of you guys. Did I go too fast?
No,
Sorry, guys.
that was great. Amherst, get your roof checked once a year. Got to go call him and get that done. And we'll see Miss Erin will be here on Friday.
Fun.
For our next group of wonderful peeps.
Good.
And I will see you next Tuesday.
We'll see you next Tuesday. And on behalf of the 239 Live staff and these wonderful ladies, you guys have a fabulous day.
Bye.